All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 5.
Okay.
All right, so we've got our characters all made as professional huntsmen and huntresses.
Indeed.
So
yes.
now they're going to be working more and more closely with Atlas on all this stuff they've got going on here.
Oh, yeah.
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 And we've got the Sam's crew moving around in the background.
We do indeed. Like, given how much there was a lack of action in the traditional sense last episode, there was still so much conflict that was established. How that's going to carry over into this episode, I have no idea. I am so excited to see how that happens, though, because there are so many different ways it can be taken. Oh, man.
Yeah, Watts and Schnee.
That little conversation.
That could be.
That
could be a thing.
Yeah. No bumps down that road at all. No.
And this looks like a doozy of an episode coming up here, 20 minutes long. So Chapter 5, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into it. Keep dreaming about a better world. Keep wishing for some clarity.
It's gonna save you from this gravity. You're holding out for some romantic life. Maybe you'll wake up in a world of shine. Oh, but what did you set you free? You don't have to train. Your life's a masterpiece. If you just believe.
Oh, man. I love how they've been handling it. Like, there was a part of me that was worried, coming into this volume. But, man.
Because it's been so long since we've seen him. I think that's
It's been so long since we've seen him, and,
Paul and Dina family. I want to know what their whole thing going on with the science background stuff in Atlas is.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm guessing it's going to be tied to the Winter Maiden, since we now know a lot about how she's actually no spring chicken, And her with her whole revolutionary group and what have you. And this fight could end up happening. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Wake up time!
Good morning, Team RWBY.
Huh.
Penny, what time is it even?
Time
4:30.
to be huntresses, of course.
Nice. Sailor Moon, yeah. Of course, RWBY.
They're really taking us back to those early volumes.
Oh, montage of school.
Yeah.
Copy.
Eyes up, Huntsman. Time to get used to the new normal in Atlas.
All right.
All right. Normal. When have we had that?
Priority is Amity Tower. That means protecting supply runs from Grimm and bandits. And protecting the site itself.
Yeah!
Okay. Yes.
Diverting all construction
Yes, please.
resources to Amity Tower means there are going to be gaps in Mantle's defenses.
These environments.
They'll need help on the perimeter.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, have you two ever thought about branching out a little? You always pair up, but I don't know if your styles...
Ha! Yeah, they work pretty well together.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Yeah, keep it up. Single file up.
Oh my god, yes! That is adorable!
Oh, another casserole.
I think you'll find everyone appreciates having a huntsman around.
It's totally
That was great.
You're, of course, free to enjoy your time off as you see fit. Whatever helps you take the edge off.
All right. More summoning training, yes, with Winter.
You might not hear Oz anymore, Oscar, but that doesn't mean we can't try to jog him loose.
Oh.
What did you have in mind?
Okay, this is the training we've been
The huntsman around you can be an invaluable resource.
foreshadowing,
If
yeah.
you're willing to pay attention.
Have you ever thought about extending your aura?
But make no mistake, School's over.
Whoa!
You get to choose what type of huntsman or huntress you are.
Oh! Oh! Indomitable right there.
Yeah. Racing.
Yes! Yeah,
I love this. I love this.
This
so
montage
much.
stuff. This is so fun.
It is
so rapid
absolutely
fire.
amazing.
Yes.
What's it gonna be?
Oh, this is teamwork.
Excuse me.
Yes! Yes!
Hey!
They're back! They're back!
Yeah!
Time!
Are you supposed to be fast?
The rest of Team Funky?
Yeah.
Yes! Oh my god!
He's around you.
Wait, is she riding her grenade launcher? Whoa! All right. This is so amazing. I love this Tron-inspired grid environments as well. Suddenly, a wild Nora appears.
Oh, that was amazing.
That's great. Wait.
You guys have really
Aura.
improved since the final tournament. And that cute farm boy had a few surprises for us, too.
The cat. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you really had us on our toes. Thought you had us there for a second. Whew.
Oh, come on. It was way more than a second.
You guys busy? Want to grab some lunch?
Dare we?
Yeah.
I could eat a sandwich the size of Cobalt.
Oh.
Ah, man.
Hey,
We'd love
look,
to.
Team Orange.
Duty calls. Maybe
Yeah.
some other time?
Oscar's
No
with them.
worries. The
Yep.
next time you're free, just let us know.
Yeah, next time.
Hey, Ivory, if we're gonna go get Froyo, can I play? Oh, come on.
You can get Froyo at my place.
For sandwiches, right? Not
What
Sandwiches.
about dinner? Kronk, this is kind of important.
Just use an airship
Yes.
to take these supplies to Amity? The components for Amity Tower's construction are far too heavy. All that weight would require precious dust we should be saving for the launch itself, and the grim that will come after.
It just makes for long, very
Boring.
long supply runs.
At least the tundra is scenic.
It's white and
Totally.
Yeah.
blue.
It looked like a blank, expansive nothingness after a while.
Ruby, I just wanted to say how excited I am to be working with you in a professional capacity.
Oh.
Friends,
Me too, Penny.
relationships are so interesting and varied.
Speaking of friends, have you been able to make any new ones? Since, you know,
Now that I'm the official protector of Mantle, I don't really have a team anymore.
She's not
General
addressing the,
Ironwood says I don't have time for
you know,
friends.
since you
Oh.
died.
uh,
Oh.
how do you feel about that?
I feel like I wish I could do both the things I need to do and the things I want to do. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's about as normal as it gets, Penny.
Everything going all right up there?
Just fine, Uncle Crow.
Is he sleeping? Oh, they're playing cards.
Ah.
Win again. Maybe we should call it quits.
Shut up and deal.
Your niece sure is one of a kind, huh?
They all are. Been through a lot together.
That's a good thing they had someone to look up to and get them through it. Not everyone is so lucky.
Ha ha ha.
I don't know about all that. Thanks, by the way, for looking out for them. You and your team.
What good is saving the world without another generation waiting in the wings?
This is very true.
Hopefully they'll leave Remnant better than we left it for them.
Once upon a time, I'd have drank to that.
You shouldn't do that, you know?
Don't worry, I gave that up.
I meant deflect a compliment.
Oh.
Those kids wouldn't be where they are without you. It's
Oh.
had more of an effect on them than you realize.
Cool.
Uncle Crow.
What's going on?
That was nice.
Yeah.
No,
That was good.
worse. You two with me. Penny, stay put and keep an eye on our six. We may need an element of surprise.
Affirmative. I will plan for 6 possible outcomes.
Stay on our 6. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
But also with 3 of them other than her. 3, 2, 1.
All right,
Deaths.
ladies, time to show them our teeth.
What do they call it? Like the
Robin!
happy
Well, if it isn't
huntsmen,
Mantle's
huntresses?
hometown hero, is there a reason you're blocking an official military transport?
Clover, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you can help me understand why this truck that's supposed to be taking construction materials to fix Mantle's outer wall is on its way to the middle of nowhere. Are you lost?
It's pretty easy to get turned around out here in the tundra. Everything looks the same. Thanks for checking up on us, though. We'll be on our way now.
I was hoping you'd play it straight with me. What's Ironwood doing with Amity at the old SDC mine?
Oh, that. Just giving her an annual checkup.
The next Vital Festival isn't anytime soon. Only automated drones and a few select Atlas scientists are allowed out here. And Amity's getting invaluable resources we need in Mantle to protect against Grimm. Seems like more than just a checkup.
You've been scoping it out.
We can't fix the wall without the supplies on these trucks. I think Mantle deserves to know what they're being used for. It
Oh.
doesn't have to be difficult. Just tell me.
Whoa.
I'm going to have to pass on that.
How about you, Pipsqueak? 5 o'clock Shadow? Either of you want to tell me why Mantle's being put at risk for Ironwood's pet project?
We're trying to help Mantle.
That's enough, Robin. As a potential councilwoman, you should probably focus on the election instead of harassing huntsmen. Now,
Called her Robin.
it's time to let us pass.
I think you've
Is that her
misjudged
code name?
the situation.
Or so that
One
way
way or
they don't know
another,
who
these
she
supplies are
actually
going
is.
to get where they're
Right.
supposed to go. Mantle.
Then I suggest you do that through the proper legal channels as a councilwoman. If you get elected.
She's on the
Council.
council.
No, no,
Okay.
if she gets elected.
Now, where's the fun
Yeah.
in that?
All right.
Robin Hill, I would like to politely ask that you call off
Oh,
the huntresses
Robin
approaching
is-
the rear of the truck.
Yeah.
All right. Joanna! May!
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
The protector of Mantle, huh?
Let us through. Please.
Robin. Good luck at the election.
Very amicable. You
And
know?
also, what a pun.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
That was a close one.
You're telling me.
What now?
I want to know why Amity Coliseum is suddenly so important. Whatever it takes.
All right. Good future conflict coming. All right, let them fight. Kaiju summoning battle.
That's right. Wait, is this a JoJo's
Yes, is this a
reference?
JoJo's reference? I was about
Yeah.
to say. You could say they're posing.
Your technique still has those maddening, sloppy touches. But you've learned how to make them work for you. You've made them your own.
Wow. That was very close to a compliment.
I didn't intend it that way.
We all make mistakes, I guess.
Oh, that was cute.
You've grown up a bit, haven't you? You're not the little girl clinging to the family name anymore.
Since Beacon, I haven't really had a choice. Father's view of the world no longer matches with mine.
Whatever the case, I am glad to see you've moved on. Distancing myself from the Schnee name is the most beneficial thing I've ever done. We can move forward without him. Together. I know General Ironwood would have a place for you.
I would be grateful to him if he did.
But my place is with my team.
I'm not sure I could accept.
Really?
It's just... Our kingdom isn't supposed to be like this. Fearful and withdrawn. We should be opening our borders to help the world, not closing them down.
We will, though. Once we've weathered the storm, we will. I know the General hasn't done everything perfectly, but he's doing what he thinks is right.
Everybody thinks what they're doing is right.
Yeah.
But usually, they're just looking out for themselves. And their secrets.
Ironwood isn't keeping secrets.
Sure.
Well...
Not from me.
That's an interesting
Can
point
you
of
be sure?
conflict.
Come with me. There's something I want to show you.
A secret!
Penny 2.0 Army. Penny 2.0 Army.
Nah, it's gonna be the Winter Maiden. Or maybe I don't know. Oh, if we're going down, then
yeah, there's a lot of things that could be.
Whoa. Okay.
I love the build up to wherever they're going, though.
This looks like a surprisingly like real world kind of location, though,
yeah.
with the ventilation.
Oh yeah, even with like the bars along the side
yeah,
of the room. Okay.
Yeah, Winter Maiden.
Winter and winter.
Uh-huh. We don't get to hear what they're saying. She's a painter.
Yeah.
Oh, she takes care of her?
Looks like.
What is all that stuff in the background there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is so she can end up being the one in her final thoughts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's the Winter Maiden.
Yep.
She could pass any day now. Until that happens, I'm the only person Freya's allowed to see.
Wow. Yep. Uh-huh.
Ironwood's chosen you to be the next when she dies.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you known?
Since Beacon fell.
Doesn't it bother you? He practically groomed your whole military career.
It did at first, when the General first proposed it to me. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw it as a privilege.
Yeah.
A chance to do some real good for Atlas. For Remnant.
But your destiny was chosen for you, without your input.
Perhaps.
Well,
but
that's
I'm
not
choosing it now.
Yeah.
I've made it my own, and I take great pride in it. That has nothing to do with Father or the General. That belongs to me.
Yeah.
That is the mature way to look at it, because things aren't so binary.
Mm-hmm.
Carving out our own way.
I suppose we have.
Okay.
Speaking of the family name...
Oh.
What is he doing?
Press conference.
If I'm elected councilman, I've made it no secret that I will be opposing General Ironwood and his senseless embargo that is crippling all of Atlas. It is my belief that these measures are not only reckless, but criminal.
Oh.
With no shipments allowed to enter or leave the kingdom, I know many are suffering, and my family has been weathering the same storm as many of you. Effective immediately, I'm forced to shut down all non-essential SDC operations.
Wow.
If elected to office, I will make the changes necessary to fix what Ironwood has broken.
But
I hope you ask yourself before the vote, can you trust anyone else to stop Ironwood? Will Robin Hill be able to get your jobs back?
Now. Whoa.
I think think Father may have just provided the spark that's going to set this kingdom on fire.
Well. All right.
Okay. Now,
Wow.
given that everyone already knew that the Shiny Dust Company was pretty corrupt, it's kind of interesting that this is working, but...
Are you kidding me? Like
I get the ways that it would work.
But what is one corrupt company, basically?
Yeah.
Once you get a company that big, there's this ingrained idea, and I think a lot of people's minds that, of course, they're corrupt. That's
Well, but the idea,
and there's a difference between corruption and having something be a, I would say, basically amoral.
Well, I guess it's the whole thing of saying, I'm firing all these people. You should vote for me, even if there's a reason for it, you know?
Okay. This was a fun episode.
This was a fantastic episode. Okay, there was a lot of stuff that was great this episode.
Right.
But, oh my, that montage.
The montage, yes.
That was so good.
That was something we'd never really had in RWBY before.
Nah, not really. And it was divine. It was sublime. It was absolutely wonderful in every way. Like, because, you know, we have trust issues with trying to basically get attached to a new school in the same way that we were to Haven. Wait, no. Crap.
Beacon,
yeah. Anyways, but the point is, that one scene did more to make me feel like, okay, yeah, we've got a new place to call home than anything up till this point, and probably more than any of the stuff that will come after. Like, I feel like that set the proper foundation of, yes, this is a new place to have wholesome, quiet moments.
Right. So what we got was a lot of little mini vignettes of our characters going through a typical day in the life of a huntsman or huntress.
Yep.
We have fighting of Grimm. We have teamwork. We have patrols. We have escort missions. We have all the things that Volume 2 wanted to give us.
Right.
In the feeling of the slice of life stuff here. But they couldn't because of certain constraints or what have you.
Yep.
But now that Rooster Teeth is a much bigger company, there's much more resources going into this. We're able to have these little mini scenes that don't really contribute much on their own individually, but putting them all together in the context of where this story is going, you end up getting a much better picture of what it would be like to have these huntsmen and huntresses being who they are, having their job, having, you know, this thing go, you know, and actually just be a part of their lives. And there were so many little Easter eggs and little things that they did where it's like, oh, wait a minute. Is this the kind of stuff where we actually analyze it frame by frame and then talk about all the little things they're hinting at? Or do we just kind of go in the, this felt good? Because I think both really work. Yeah, there were little parts, I think, that stand out to each of us probably individually because, you know, they're the specific things that we really appreciate. Like, there's the obvious bit of fun. Hey, Team Funky were, like, prime students of Atlas. So here they are. Here they are. Here's the other two members. How much have they grown or changed in the time that it's been since the Vital Festival?
Yeah.
Well, we get to see them. Yeah. It's just fun little stuff like that. Then we get even little bits of stuff of like, hey, Jean, have you ever thought about extending out your aura? Or, you know, little things of where Nora's like tugging on Ren's ponytail.
Yeah.
Like, following him along the wall here. Jean giving the like walking kids across the street thing.
Like that
and then
was
like there's a bunch
great.
of like fangirls in the background going like, hey boy, you know, hey, how's it going? And one of them like trying to shove a casserole in his face and be like, come on, take it. He's like, no, I can't. Like, come on. Little things like showcasing team dynamics between Yang and Blake, Ruby and Weiss.
Yep.
It's just good fun.
It was absolutely wonderful. And the thing is, because they set this kind of stuff up like this, like this almost feels like the equivalent of Jean and Pyrrha training, right? Where now in that situation, it was something where there was the shipping aspect for one, but it was something that a lot of time was spent to establish that was happening, right? There was the whole the whole arc with freaking Cardin and all that, right? But then afterwards, they could just kind of show them training, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is continuing, right?
Right.
By doing this here, they're establishing way more, right? There a dozen of those, equivalents, right?
Yeah.
And now, anytime they want, they can go back and show one of these set pieces, like their room, or them getting the missions in the morning and the coffee and all that stuff. Anything really, right? Or freaking Oscar and Ironwood training, plenty of things that they can do here that now it's just all there.
Yeah. Like one of my
Blake dragging Yang off screen.
Yeah. There was a lot of little things where this was one I specifically wanted to look at. Right after Harriet and Ruby are doing their little speed race thing, there's a moment where you literally have we're winding down for the night, and Penny comes in to kind of do the, hey, Ruby, how was your day?
Right.
Weiss is like, oh, I'm so tired, brushing my teeth, This could be in the morning, too.
Yeah.
But the idea that everyone's tired, Ruby's got this energy of like, I'm going to share Penny. It was like this. And I was like, and then like this. And who knows what she's talking about. But then, like, this is like the most casual thing of like, they're just doing life. But I was thinking about all the shippers when they see, like, Yang just kind of like, I'm tired. And Blake literally like grabs her arm and kind of pulls her off screen. I was like,
with that little smile on her face.
Yeah. Like I'm sure people are like going to be going in and like.
Yep.
Actually, she looks more, if anything, kind of like, ugh, come on, Yang, wake up already.
If you press play, I'm pretty sure it.
No, it's pretty more of like a, like come on, I have to drag you everywhere. Then little changes where. Jean bringing two cups of coffee. For Marrow, and that little thing of him being like, oh,
thank you,
like my friend, absolutely.
And Nora's just
and them clinking their mugs,
Yep.
And then having all the missions and stuff on the background of the hollow
and
desk thing.
Okay,
and then the whole thing of them in their seats of four here, and as they all slowly but surely get like more and more tired and stuff with it, whereas Ruby's just like, oh my gosh, this is real. I'm actually a huntress and stuff.
But that part where it shows them all there together, and Ruby's the only one awake, and they're all sleeping together and everything.
Kind of leaning on her.
Yeah. That takes me back to Team Juniper, but Pyrrha's not there. Like, what was that? An actual shot that they had? No, it was just fan art of. But like Pyrrha's ghost being there with them, like
it's representative of how Volume 4 ends,
right?
Specific scene where they all lean up their weapons against the wall.
While Home plays, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Penny having a little talk with Ruby though, and our good Aesop's leader Clover and Crow having their little conversation here. What I liked though was the more mature form of dialogue comparatively to Ruby and Penny's, where they're having their conversation here, and he's like, "Yeah, you did a good job to give them someone to look up to," and he mentions drink. He's like, "Oh yeah, I've been trying to quit that." He's like, "Hey, no, I'm talking about you trying to dodge the conversation by not accepting a compliment."
Right.
There were little moments like that, I think, in the episode where people were appreciating others in their ways of doing things, and people weren't accepting of said compliment.
Like it's little things like that. Like, okay, the whole good luck, bad luck thing. Like, yes, prepackaged for shipping, expedited within 2 days. Thank you, Amazon. But little moments like that make me actually excited to see the characters interact and stuff, and maybe even ship them. Who knows? Like, this is definitely the beginning foundations of where we can actually have a strong relationship between these two characters, because Crow hasn't had like an adult that he can talk to and really confide in before. Yeah. Right?
Sorry, I had forgotten her name at this point, but Robin Hill, the leader of these huntsmen and huntresses, who are kind of having a little bit of a peaceful protest thing with regards to how Atlas is running things specifically in Mantle. I like the idea that she kind of kind of threatens them a little bit with like hey, this could get a little bit interesting here.
Yeah.
And, Clover's trying to be very amiable and amicable in this situation. I would say he's doing a great job.
Yep.
But it wasn't really until Penny showed up and kind of put her full, like
Death Machine in the Sky kind of a thing.
Well, I'm not Death Machine in the Sky, but she's the hero of Mantle. She's the representative of their people coming out there and being like, I am the one that represents you guys, and hey, I need you guys to not do this. And they had this moment of like, oh, okay, yeah. And then there's literally invisible. Like, these two are cloaked somehow with either their semblance or
something
or what have you.
Right.
And then they let them go by.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because, and Penny's whole thing of, saying, please, it's like, okay, they listened. Like, that was really cool. And the foundation for why there was this standoff and sort of the, not miscommunication, but the lack of communication between them when their goals are aligned, right?
Sure.
Was really good here because, we can't have it be known before it happens that Salem is a thing or anything like that, right? Where this is based on a controlled release of information.
Right.
So we can't really tell you why we need to do this, right? Yeah. Even though it's something that if they understood, they would probably, more or less be okay with, hopefully at least.
Right.
Right.
I like also that we've now set up this triumvirate of people that are vying for political positions within the country. We have basically the grassroots movement kind of character here who comes from, I would say, a little bit of the elite in that she was trained with them, but she went away from that in order to basically build her movement through a different means. We have Schnee, Papa Schnee, who specifically is trying to use, kind of the current state of things to his advantage in order to garner more votes. But we also have Ironwood, who is more of one who's maybe looking at potential problems of getting voted out. Now, I don't know how their whole political system works.
Yeah,
I was pretty sure Papa Schnee was already a member of the council as well. So is this more of a head of council position they're vying for, or is it just re-election? Is it just re-election and it's like, okay, whichever of the top 5 or what have you get in, they're the ones that get onto the council.
Or maybe it's that Papa Schnee wasn't on the council previously, and that's why all the stuff that happened was able to happen. But he's of enough economical power that he.
Well, I think it's open to anyone. I think it's a pretty democratic system. Probably could have anyone try to be a council member.
Definitely, I'm talking about the idea that even if he wasn't a council member before, the reason why
he could flex his power through his company.
Exactly. Right.
That's probably more what it was. Yeah, and that he's looking for a council position. But that's cool, given that we have now already a character that we've known for a while who essentially might still have control of 2 seats on the council.
Right.
Which I don't know how that works. But what I'm guessing what it is that what he's saying is, I hold in my party, essentially. It's not even necessarily that he's seating on both of them or even one of them. I'm pretty sure he is one of them because he's the headmaster of Atlas Academy and therefore also the leader of the military.
Yeah.
It might be based on his positions in those organizations, or I don't know. I'm just curious to see what a kind of a civil unrest situation leads to that would be capitalized on by Salem's crew.
Right.
This Winter Weiss kind of conversation lead to the Winter Maiden reveal. This makes a lot of sense. This almost feels like something where, like, I've seen this fan theory before. The idea that Winter's name, like, is something that's just too odd of a coincidence,
Right. And
it had to be, like, something along these lines where even if she wasn't the Winter Maiden now, because I don't think anyone thought she was the Winter Maiden, like, it would secretly or something.
Yeah, it would seem weird if, like, the Winter Maiden played a major part in the story later on and Winter still existed, and it's like, Winter, yes,
Yes, exactly. So in this case, is it is it a thing that was planned all along, or is this a thing of where, like,
Right.
oh, she's got this name, and it's like, hey, you know, maybe she changed her name at some point. Wouldn't that be kind of interesting to know that she had a name that was less kind of seasonal or what have you, but it was more kind of like German, like Weiss, you know, Weiss's name or what have you, and then to separate off from the Schnee name, she changed her name to Winter when...
Yeah.
But then we figured out the timeline of that she was told about this whole thing after Beacon fell, so her name was already Winter at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, huh.
Yeah. Right. It's one of those...
curious.
Well, and also you would... okay, we're going to groom you to be the next Winter Maiden. Cool. I'm going to change my name to Winter. No, don't do that. Like...
Yeah, we don't want to make this obvious to anyone who's accidentally stumbled through some rosters when they were hacking Atlas's security stuff, you know?
It's just a happy accident.
Convenient thing, you know?
But the conversation that they did have, like, it was great because I felt like they both had points, right?
Right.
With Weiss, you know, being all like, hey, you know, can you fully trust Ironwood and all that stuff? And is this really yours? Since, like, a lot of people, you know, sort of paved the way for you to be here. And then Winter being like, well, I still chose this, you know, the idea that, which makes sense because, you know, Weiss is the younger person, so she'd question more of the established system for things, right? And then Winter's like, well, you know, hold on, that's... you know,
that's conflating things a little bit.
Right. I did very much have a choice in the matter, you know.
Right. Right. Sure, I was groomed. Absolutely.
Right.
But does that make it any less my choice? You know, when it comes down to it, I could have just said no.
Right.
My career wasn't on the line. It's just like, yeah, I was definitely maybe guided towards a specific decision, which is funny because you know what that makes Ironwood sound like? Sounds a lot like Ozpin. In a very interesting way. Ozpin's the kind of person that would take his students and effectively groom them to be his weapons against Salem. Well, that's literally one of the main songs, you know. Are we weapons pointed at the enemy so someone else can claim the victory?
Yep.
Time to say goodbye, yeah.
And then on top of all this, the idea, because with the kind of things that Winter was saying, it seemed very much like, okay, Weiss, let me show you the whole picture kind of a thing, right?
Like, I don't have secrets from you.
Yeah. But then the whole thing of, Ironwood doesn't keep secrets from me. Like, that was very pointed. Now, maybe it's actually true, but the thing is that the fact that Winter felt the need to say that, as opposed to, what are you talking about? Of course people have secrets. Everyone has secrets.
Sure.
That's normal, right? Right. You know, if you didn't have...
what's Ironwood's semblance? You don't know.
Right.
He doesn't have to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there are plenty of things that just aren't your business, right? You know, and then when you have... That's the whole point of trust, right? That when you get closer to somebody, you can start to show them more and more. But if it was a binary thing where it's all or nothing... Then what kind of a relationship would that be? You know, that seems a bit more naive, right? The kind of thing that a kid would think of. But then it's like, no, the real world doesn't necessarily work that way. So the fact that Winter still thinks that, right? Because that's probably going to get proven wrong at some point. Right. That she maybe had something to prove, and that because she's separated from the Schnee family, that maybe she's gotten herself wrapped up a whole lot with Ironwood and everything that he's doing and whatnot, and basically won't allow herself to question, maybe.
Yeah, and Weiss, of course, is still hot to kind of question those types of things because of what's happened to her more recently, whereas Winter doesn't feel like that maybe applies necessarily to her current situation. It is a good principle to have,
right?
Like in your toolbox, essentially.
Yeah.
We've got confirmation now of their plans on how to kind of keep the Winter Maiden in Atlas, which means a lot of our theories regarding Penny and all that was not necessarily the case.
Right.
So my thoughts on Winter is that one, they gave some development to her here. They gave some world building with regards to connection to Winter here.
Yes.
They put a target on Winter's back in terms of death flags.
Yeah.
And Winter has been one that we have had constant death flags for like the last 2 volumes.
Yeah, that good old
this.
path to isolation of, I won't necessarily be here all the time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, I think it's not something they're setting up for this volume. But I would say in the future, those around Ironwood, in the same way that kind of things are about to get a little chaotic, we should, be wary regarding this. And I know a lot of you are starting to like Winter more and more as we get more of her. I'm just saying, this is another one.
Well, so now maybe this is going a bit too far out, because this is going out on a limb from a limb, right?
Okay.
But, okay, so assuming that Winter dies, right? Will she die before becoming the Winter Maiden or after?
Well, after.
Right.
Yeah.
If she dies after, even if she's killed by someone, who do you think would be the person that's in her thoughts when she dies? I will bet 10 to 1 odds, or 1 to 10 odds, or whatever, it'd be Weiss. Now, there's the whole idea of 4 maidens, 4 main characters, and all that stuff, and who knows how much they're going to do that if they do it or whatever. They don't have to, but if they wanted to go for crazy escalation more and more as it goes on, and we need to fight Salem and like really fight Salem, and how do we make our main characters actually be capable of fighting Salem, and how do we make it so the fate of the world really is what resting on their shoulders?
Right.
That would be a way to do it, and this is a specific way that it is being introduced as a mechanic in the story that it could end up going to Weiss.
And what you're talking about is not the mechanic of the maidens transferring, but the mechanic of that the person that Weiss and Winter both care about the most is each other. Therefore, if Winter gets the maiden powers, no matter what happens to her, really, no matter what happens to her, unless this happens 50 years from now and Weiss is old, Weiss is next in line then. We literally have a lineage path of succession thing that is like blatantly obvious within the show.
Like, even if it was something where Winter was suddenly killed like by surprise and all she sees is the face of her attacker or something, who is someone who could inherit the maiden powers, like Cinder or something like that.
Yeah.
Odds are she would still be thinking about Weiss. Like her final thought would end up being Weiss.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, just more opportunities for Weiss to be queen, best girl.
Yep, that's right.
The Schnee development being something that is where he's going a little bit more aggressive with his policies is one where I think he is a little bit under duress. But I would say not under the duress of actually his company or even, what's going on here.
Yeah.
I think it's under the duress of specifically his family in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the fact that we didn't actually see the rest of that conversation. Oh man, with him and Watts.
Because Watts wouldn't give up necessary intel about Salem's movements to him.
For sure.
If anything, I think he's basically saying, hey, you saw how easy I got in here. I didn't have to go to your room. I could have gone to your little prick's room down the hall. And who would have stopped me?
No one.
You?
Yeah.
With no, I'm guessing he has no semblance, basically. That's part of the whole thing of him coming into the family, so he doesn't have the thing there. Yeah. And maybe Watts is still there. Maybe he left. Who knows? But maybe there's this part of,
I know where you live.
Of Papa Schnee, where he just kind of has this okay, yeah, I'm gonna step this up a notch. I'm going to try and consolidate my power structure, and that's definitely gonna rile things up.
Yeah,
because regardless of whether or not what he's doing is going to work towards him being elected, the immediate effect is one where he just
pissed off a lot of people,
pushed a lot of people in directions they're not necessarily comfortable with. And in some ways, I'm looking at this strategically. The main thing I'm worried about is that what he's now done is said, hey, Ironwood, I don't know what your plan is here, but you seem to be really interested in dust for something. What if you don't have access to that dust?
Sure.
Do you
I
see
mean,
how that's an actual
essentially-
legitimate problem of where they were counting on the next month's worth of production in these specific areas, and
Yeah.
he's like, oh, you're hunkering down and embargoing your stuff? I'll hunker down and sit on my, stuff and what have you.
Now, I like that idea. There's
Yeah.
only so far that it can be taken, because that would basically be declaring bankruptcy for Shinny Dust Company, because if they stop selling dust, it's a weapons company that doesn't make weapons.
No,
right?
that's something I would say that totally happens. Like, an example would be a recall. There are multiple times where car companies will recall tens of thousands of vehicles and literally stop production lines for an entire line of vehicles or more. And it lasts for like a month. But the thing is what we're operating in is weeks and months. That's the point.
Exactly.
Is that obviously the Shinny Dust Company would survive a month's worth of no production.
It hurt, but they could do it if they need to.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the point is that it's been already a few months worth of production, of loss of revenue or what have you.
Right.
So he's basically going, okay, Walmart or what have you equivalent would be like, we're going to shut down 150 stores.
Right.
That's 3,600 jobs.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's
Wait,
what
150
it is.
stores. That's only 170 jobs. What are you talking about?
The point is that kind of stuff there, he can just claim hey, I'm a victim in this just as much as you. I would be able to make tons of money, but this guy is... I think that's a very easy lie that they could buy, because it's not fully a lie. It's partial truth involved in there.
If he takes it, and the whole showing the press conference and all that stuff, I get the feeling that all the details that would make it seem a lot more straightforward were basically left out for the sake of time, right? Because that it gets the point across of what's happening, and it works because probably all of those things exist, right?
If he gets elected, he'll have more power to combat Ironwood's embargo policies.
Right, and everyone knows that the Shinny Dust Company has been taking some hits.
Yep.
So
that's not
everyone
like
knows that
hidden knowledge or something.
Right, exactly. And the idea that he would basically do whatever the money demands is fairly straightforward.
Characteristic of him.
Right. He's probably been doing like publicity campaigns to try and undo that recently.
Right.
To make himself seem less cutthroat and more just misunderstood. But,
sure.
But
I don't think he really cares about his image in that regard.
Well, he mentioned in the previous episode, like, I'm not going to fire them all until after I'm elected or something like that, where he's like get rid of do all the firings, do all the whatever, but not until I'm elected, because we need to keep up image, right? We need to get those voters.
Oh, right. The idea of him specifically buying votes essentially through jobs. Yeah. That's a thing.
Right.
That's a thing.
And even with this spin, now granted, especially if Watts is has a part to play in why he's doing this, it doesn't necessarily have to just be benefit for him. If there's a little bit of a hit on him, that's fine. Less of a hit on him than, say, on Ironwood.
Sure.
And if it's something that rouses the populace, that's what Salem wants. So it would make sense that would be the direction they would want it to go.
Yeah. I like this because this feels very FMAB. This feels very much like we're going to get the people of Leor freaking out about this specific thing so that we can carve the crest of blood and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm like, okay, if we're going to have an ensemble cast of characters on the good side and an ensemble cast of characters on the bad side, we need to have big macro movements that are very slow and little things like this where they adjust the world based on the influence that they have in their specific area.
Yep.
So that's that. Yeah. Adorable episode.
Yeah.
Very, very cute, wonderful character interaction stuff. Bless you, Rooster Teeth, for letting, I believe, this was Eddie Revis's writing again in this episode as it was in the...
by Eddie Revis,
it was in the previous one.
Yeah.
You guys, you got to cut this guy loose every once in a while, more and more, because I loved the little bits of dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
I loved them.
One of the things that I wonder in certain stories is that because there will be some crazy plot that needs to happen, right? And the plot is good. The plot is good. But because the plot is so kind of demands so much effort and work being put into it and all these things in order to support it and keep it moving forward,
right?
That the characters are written to be in service of the plot rather than being written in service of, let's make sure these characters are likable.
Right.
You know, like let's just give them a bunch of moments where the audience can laugh or go, aw, or whatever.
And also, I don't know if I've seen this name before, but it was directed by Connor Pickens, which I had heard more recently, I think it was back in Volume 6, that they were going to shift to a more episode director type structure. Cool. And that's more, I would say, specifically like they would do things in Western television, anime, and such. So that's just really cool to have.
Yeah.
But having that whole process being something where it's held by more hands leads to, I would say, little extra bits of creativity.
Yes.
That, you know, someone who's been working hard at this for a long period of time might end up doing what you were saying with the characters and end up making them be in service of the plot rather than just having them be their own characters.
Because, like, and I don't know anything about how all this stuff works, right? But I would imagine that if you only have one episode of something that you can make, you'd put way more care and effort into, like, all the little details of that episode because that's all you get to do, right? And you got to make it stand out. If that's going to be on your resume for something, you got to make sure that it really hits all the notes really well.
Right.
And this episode and the previous episodes have all felt like that very much.
We had the characters of Team Funky shows up, so I'm checking the credits here. There's a name here, Fiona Time. That might be one of the members of Team Funky. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Or that might have been actually the one that was with Robin Hill, who apparently is voiced by Christina V, which is pretty freaking awesome.
Well, also, Freya, I'm not sure who that is, but Lucy Christian, yes, please. So, yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Fantastic.
This episode was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I think I was a big fan of how they did things in this episode and the last episode in terms of character interactions. So keep that up. But cool little homage to Team Funky with the kind of new version of their theme song in the little training bit with Team Orange, by the way. I mean, it's no longer Juniper, and it could be Junior if you wanted, but it is Oscar, Jean, Nora, Ren.
Yeah.
So if it's Oscar, Ren,
Nora,
Jean, that's Orange.
Right. The real question is,
it's a color.
Who would be the new team leader? Would Oscar be the new team leader, or if Jean's the new team leader, would it be?
It'd be Junior.
Yeah,
Junior.
yeah.
I think if they focus on having the first letter be the one that's
the team leader,
then they would go with Junior because that was something they talked about even in Volume 4.
But Junior's not a color.
That's why I think Team Orange would also work rather well. And in some ways, it would be kind of cool for them to give like this kind of honorific thing for Oscar to be like, no, you're not just slotting into where Pyrrha's spot was necessarily. Right. We're fixing up and adapting things so that we can all work together as a team of 4. And that's just cool.
And in many ways, that would be kind of a burden off Jean's shoulders because it's the, hey, you don't have to, you don't have to be the one like
everything figured out.
You're
everything
all figured out.
Huntsmen and huntresses now.
Yep.
Work as a 4, a unit.
Right, because Oscar also doesn't have everything figured out. So it's not like
way less than they do.
Right, exactly. So it's not like they'd just be taking orders directly from Ozpin equivalent, kind of a thing. They could be working together on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I felt like this was Easter egg central with regards to the names they had in the background when when Clover was giving his briefings and such.
Yeah.
There were so many just kind of sitting there in the background. I was like, oh my gosh. I can imagine Arnold's going to have a field day zooming in and enhance, looking at all that stuff.
Yep.
So, very cool. Very cool. Also, by the way, the Grimm that the big chimera lion type Grimm that Weiss and Ruby take out.
Yeah, is that Manticore?
Manticore, yes. Yeah. Was really freaking cool.
Yeah, like I know we'd seen it before, but like seeing them again, it's great. Like to think that the Grimm that are just a part of the We Kill Grimm montage look that good. Like yeah. And also, Nora fussing with Ren's braid, like
good stuff. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction discussion. This was a good time. Lots of good
so
RWBY
good.
character interactions. If you want to see the next episode's reaction as a timer version, kind of ahead of time, be sure to check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us, the community there, about this show, about anime in general, stories, what have you. You can also talk with Jacob about the book that he wrote. Find out
That's
about
right.
that there. It's pretty cool.
I wrote a sci-fi novel. It's called Battle Lines. It's pretty awesome. It's available in both hardcover and ebook format on Amazon. Links in the description thingy down there. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.